I just finished my first year of college. Let's talk about it. So I've had a couple of months to reflect on this past year of college. Despite it ending on such a low note, it's probably been the best year of my life. Today I'm sharing the classes I took with a special focus on the computer science ones since I am a computer science student, and especially I'm going to share what I enjoyed about college because I think that's, a big part of it, whether or not you enjoyed college. So let's get right into it. Yo, there are so many bugs around here. I am getting eaten alive. But regardless, I'm going to go over the classes I took this first year, starting with the first semester. So this was fall 2019. So the first class I took was bio, and this was just basic biology, and it was easy and hard at the same time. It was easy because all I had to do was memorize definitions to get a good grade on the tests, but the definitions, there were about 100 to 300 definitions to memorize for all 4 of the tests. So it was a lot of memorizing and just regurgitating. So I'm not sure I really learned anything. I just memorized the hell out of those words and did all right. So that was an A. The next class I took was called Introduction to Computer Science, and I loved this class. It was awesome, not just because it was computer science, but it actually introduced the hardware and the software of a computer. So I physically learned, I learned physically how a computer actually stores data, like physically on disks and stuff. It was really, really cool, and I loved that. The languages we used to learn in this class was Java, so that was awesome. I really liked learning Java, but there was one huge problem. The professor had 40 years of experience in the industry, so this dude was a pro. However, his tests were the craziest tests I have ever taken. I'm gonna put him at an example right now, but that example is literally exactly what his tests were like. He would ask what is 2 + 2, and then the multiple choice would be true or false, and I'd be like, bruh, what? What do I do? And I contacted him multiple times and he fixed it, but it was kind of funny. He put a lot of work into the lectures, but not really into the tests. The next class I took in this first semester was English, and this was a basic English class. I thought I was a good English writer, right? But then I started taking this class and I realized that in all my essays, I just put in a ton of fluff. So it was kind of fun being able to relearn how to write essays, where I learned how to, get rid of all the fluff and just focus on the main points, what you want to convey to your audience, so that you can have just a huge focus on what you want to convey and not have all that fluff, basically. The last class in my first semester was Calculus 1, and let me tell you, the only reason I did not fail this class was because my professor had 3 redos allowed per test. I'm not even kidding. I don't even know if that's allowed on campus in college, but I had 3 redos allowed per test. And let me tell you, I took every single redo. I took all 3 redos for every single test that semester. Despite taking every single redo that was allowed, I still only got a B on this class, but you know what? I worked my butt off for it, so I'm happy. So my second semester was basically like my first semester, but harder. So I had been part 2 of the biology class, exact same thing. I had to memorize 300 definitions for each test, but I was a little bit lazier, so I got literally an 89.73% as a final grade, and the curve didn't save me. I was so mad. I was literally 0.27%, not even 1%, 0.27% away from an A. You can bet I was pretty pissed. The next class I took this semester was the next part for my computer science class. Now, this was really fun because we learned about object-oriented programming, which was, let me tell you, really hard to catch on at first. I was super confused, but I caught on to it after a month or 2, and you know what, it was really cool. It made sense. I learned the basic stuff you had to learn, and that was pretty fun. The next class I took was basically part 2 of my English, and it was the same thing. I got even better at writing essays, and I wrote an essay about coronavirus, and yeah, it went pretty well. I got an A. Man, there are just too many bugs here. I'm gonna do the rest of this at home. The next class I took was Calculus 2, and let me tell you guys, I could have passed this class if I had worked harder, but I didn't. I had to withdraw the class because this happened the same time as Corona, and I gotta say, that wasn't enough to make me fail this class, but I was just dead after all my other classes, and I did not put enough work into this class, and I had to drop it, so I have to retake it next semester, so fall 2020, which kind of sucks because it was already a really hard class. The next class I had to take was a really useless class, and let me tell you guys, it was basically a college preparation class, and it taught you stuff like how to get to class on time and how to take notes. And I don't know about you, but the way I get to class on time is I look at my watch or my phone and I'd be like, okay, it's 8:25, class is at 8:45, get there before 8:45. That's sort of like what I do, but I don't know, maybe I need a class, maybe I need to pay for a class in order to figure out how to do that. Basically, it was a useless class. And the professor that taught this class was the weirdest dude I have ever met in my life. He had this long white beard, he looked like Santa Claus, man, and he would always go on tangents. It was a 50-minute class, and half of the class was him teaching, the other half was him going on tangents. And he would go on tangents about Donald Trump, about Barack Obama, about every single president he had an issue with, and he would literally also go on tangents. He shook the student's hand for like 5 minutes. It was so weird. Like, they were just talking, and the entire time he was shaking his hand. And apparently the next week he was super worried about having shook the student's hand for too long, because he kept on going back to like, you know this wasn't sexual assault, right? I was just shaking your hand. I wasn't trying to assault you. We're good, right? And he would like keep on going back to that, and it was like the weirdest and funniest thing too. So those are all the classes I took, and I just want to mention that these computer science classes that I took, while I only took 2, these helped me learn so much. So before I went to college, I tried to learn how to program, and it was kind of difficult. I didn't really get it, it didn't really click. But after I went to college, learning new concepts was so much easier because I had those bases covered. Like I knew OOP, I knew how the sort of syntax worked and all that. So it really helped me learn more during the summer. So this past summer, where I've been trying to do my own projects, it's really helped with me learning stuff a lot quicker. So a lot of people say you don't need college to learn programming, and that's 100% true. But me personally, I really enjoy just having that in a very organized, class-like format where you show up, you get a ton of material, you get to learn it. If you have any questions, you contact that person like an email. I really enjoy that format. All in all, college is so much better than a high school. The environment, it's so much more chill. The teachers are, oh my gosh, dude, the teachers compared to high school teachers, way better. In high school, the end goal is a little bit disconnected. Like, you don't really see why you're doing all this work, versus college. It's like, I'm getting this degree to get a good job, or to get the knowledge to get a good job. You're also treated a lot more like an adult. You do your homework and you get a good grade. You don't do your homework, you fail. It's pretty simple, and the professors aren't always on your butt about everything, so I really like that as well. All in all, super great experience. If you guys have any questions, comment below. I'll be glad to answer them, and make sure to check out this video right here. I think you guys will like it. If you don't, just put a thumbs down, all right? See you guys in another video. Peace out. Whoosh.